Hey students, welcome to IMST online classes. Okay, so today we are going to study about the transfer of heat energy. Okay, that is how heat transfers from one body to another. Okay, so let me give you an example. Suppose your mother is going to cook. Okay, suppose the cooking is going to start. You might have seen that when the cooking is done, water is kept in a utensil, right? In a utensil, water is kept and the utensil is kept on fire. It may be a gas stove or any kind of energy source can be. Okay, so when the stove is turned on, okay, when it is put on flame, when the flame is put on, then you see the heat is given to the utensil, not to the water directly. But what happens? Generally, if you see, the utensil is getting all the heat, but which is burning. But you will see that the water will start to boil. So that means the heat energy which is given to the utensil, it is transferred from the utensil into the water. So that means heat energy can be transferred from one body to another, right? Okay. Let's take another example. That is, suppose you are holding a ice cube. Okay, you are holding a ice cube in your hand. So generally, ice, what happens? If you give heat to ice, it melts and it forms water, right? So suppose you are just holding it. After some time, you will see that the ice will start to melt. Okay, and slowly after some time, it will get completely converted into water. So what's happening here? So the ice is somehow it's getting heat, and from where does it is getting heat? It is getting heat from our body. So so heat is being transferred in this case from our body into the ice. So that's how it happens. That is what we are going to study in this case. Okay. So I guess you all might be excited. So let's study about heat transfer. Now let us consider another example. Suppose a candle flame is burning and you have just kept your hand on top of that, little bit at a height on the candle flame. Okay, a candle flame is burning and you have kept hand on top of it. Or suppose you may recall that during winter, when you might feel very cold, or when some people when they feel very cold, they burn fire, they burn wood or something, and they sit around it, right? So while sitting around the fire, the body automatically it becomes heat, right? It absorbs heat from the fire. How does that happen? So that is what heat transfer means. So that means we are getting heat from the fire. Similarly, in case when the ice was started to melt in our hand, it means the ice was getting heat from our body. So from that we can say that heat is generally transferred from a hot body to a cold body. We can say heat energy moves from a hot body to a cold body, right? So we know that measurement of heat, okay, the degree of hotness is generally measured in terms of temperature, right? So we can say that heat energy moves from higher temperature to lower temperature. High temperature to low temperature. So we can say, so that's how heat travels. Okay, heat energy, it moves. The transfer of heat takes place from higher temperature to lower temperature. Okay, so between candle flame and our hand. Okay, when you keep our hand on top of a candle flame, the temperature of candle flame is T1. Temperature of hand is T2. Then T1 is greater than T2. So we can say that heat travels from candle flame to hand. Okay, from candle flame to hand, the heat moves. So this is how heat transfer takes place. Heat always travels. Heat energy is always moved or transferred from higher temperature to lower temperature. Understood? Now, if you have to note it, you can pause the video and you can note it down. So you understood that heat moves or heat travels from a higher temperature to lower temperature. But do all objects, all substance allow to heat to pass through themselves? Do they? Well, let me give you an example. You might have seen that most of the cooking utensils, suppose let us consider pressure cooker. Okay, in the pressure cooker, the handle of the pressure cooker is made up of plastic, right? While the other part is in form of a metal. Now, when the pressure cooker is kept on fire, it receives heat, right? So it's quite very hot. If you touch it, even your hand may get burned. But still, if you catch the handle, you can't feel anything. Okay, the handle won't be hot at all. So that means heat cannot pass through the handle of a pressure cooker, right? Similarly, there is some substance from which heat cannot pass, right? So that means if from a fire, if you are at a distance, quite very much distance, you cannot feel the heat of the fire. That means heat cannot pass directly in air. So you can say up to some extent that some substance allow heat to pass through themselves and some substance do not allow heat to pass through themselves. Based on this, the objects are classified into two types. They are either called as conductors, okay, or insulators. Conductors or insulators. Conductors mean objects which allow heat to pass through themselves. So, conductors are those objects which allow heat to pass through themselves. For example, mostly all the metals. Okay, metals, they allow heat to pass through themselves. So that's why cooking utensils are made up of metals. So metals are conductors of heat. Okay, insulators, objects which doesn't allow heat to pass. Through. So objects which does not allow heat to pass through themselves, they are called as insulators. Example, if you take example like plastics, okay, plastic, wood. Okay. So there are some of the examples of substance which does not allow heat to pass through themselves. Okay, so it doesn't heat travels. Already we studied that heat moves from higher temperature to lower temperature, but it needs conductors to move through it, because insulators, they won't allow heat to pass through themselves. Now we are going to study about what are the different types of heat transfer. Heat transfers in various ways, and what are they? Mostly there are three different types of heat transfers. That is conduction, convection, and radiation. Okay. So first we'll study about conduction. So let's study about how heat is transferred. Okay. So there are three different ways by which heat can be transferred. That is conduction, convection, and radiation. Well, so let's know what do you mean by that. In by simple examples, you can understand what is conduction, convection, and radiation. Okay, so let us consider here an example. There are two boys, A and B. Okay, so they are playing, suppose. So they're playing to pass the ball. So A wants to pass the ball to B. So how he will do it? Okay, there are different ways, right? He can literally just kick it and just throw it. But he didn't. He chose a different method. So what he did, he aligned some persons on the way. Okay, he aligned some persons on the way, and what he did, he passed it. He gave this ball first. Suppose this one we want 2, 3, 4. Okay. Suppose, so what he did, he gave this ball first to him, then he passed on to this one, then he passed to this, then he gave to this, then at last the ball reached here. Okay. The ball reached near B. Okay. So this is how he can do it, right? So this method of heat transfer from part by part, okay, from inside is called as conduction. Okay. Then second, in the second case, we can what we can say how this person can how this boy will pass the ball. So what he will do, he will give the ball to one person, okay, this person, and this person he will move, he will go, okay, and he will give that ball to B. Okay, the same person he will go, okay, and he will give that ball to B. This method of heat transfers, this such type of heat transfer is called as convection. Understood? Such method of heat transfer is called as convection. Then third case, okay, third case, in this case what will happen? In this case, A wouldn't take the help of any person, okay, he won't take the help of any person, and he will just kick the ball. He will just kick the ball such that it reaches near B. Okay. This method of heat transfer is called as radiation. The first case is conduction. Okay. The second case is convection. And third is the radiation without taking the help of anything. Okay. So this is by simple terms what is conduction, convection and radiation. Let's know in detail about conduction, convection and radiation. Okay. Okay. So conduction. By definition, conduction is the transfer of heat energy from the hotter region to the colder region of a body. Okay, the heat travels inside the body only from the hotter region to colder region. So you can say, in case of conduction, it travels from hotter area to cold area. Cold area we can say part, cold part of the same substance. So conduction, it mainly occurs in solids. Generally occurs in solid. Okay, let me give an example. Suppose a cooking is going on in an utensil without a plastic handle. The utensil does not has an insulated handle, plastic or any wooden handle. In that case, if you after some time when the utensil is hot, if you touch the handle, you will feel the handle is also will be quite hot. Okay, the handle which isn't in direct contact with the flame gets heated up. How? So how does it happen? Suppose, okay, this is a cooking utensil and this is its handle. So if the flame, okay, flame is given to this part, if it is not insulated, it is also a metal part. If you touch it, you can feel the heat. So what happens in this case? That means this part which is receiving the flame, from here the heat is traveled. The heat moves from the hotter region to this part. Okay, so you can feel the heat. This process is called as conduction. Okay, you can take another easy example to understand. Suppose what you will do? Suppose you take an iron rod. Okay, you You take an iron rod, okay, fix it using an insulated thing like a brick or something. If you fix it at 3 points, okay, you will just apply or just attach some wax pieces. Okay, at 3 different points, if you attach some wax, candle wax, okay, candle wax. At 3 different places, we have attached 3 candle wax. Now here, if you put a candle, okay, if you put a candle, that means that here this part only is being heated by using the candle. After some time, you will notice that this part, okay, this region, the wax will start to fall drop by drop. After this, then this, and at last from here the drops will go. So this wax, they start to melt because they are getting heat. And from where to they are getting heat? From this flame. So that means flame is heating this part, and later on the heat is traveling in this direction. It is traveling from the hotter region to the colder region. Okay, because that is how it travels, right? It travels from higher temperature to lower temperature. This method of transfer of heat is called as conduction. Okay. Now, the conduction also has a day-to-day phenomena. You might have seen that mostly in case of houses which has concrete roofs. In case of houses which have concrete roofs, generally the house becomes quite hot during the daytime. Have you ever thought why? Okay, generally it occurs due to conduction. What happens because due to thermal conductivity. What is thermal conductivity? Thermal conductivity means the ability to transfer how much heat is transferred by conduction. That ability is called as thermal conductivity. Okay, so concrete has little bit higher thermal conductivity, not very high, but little bit higher thermal conductivity. So due to this, a large amount of heat which is received by the top part of the roof is being transferred to the lower part of the roof. That's why it becomes quite very hot. Okay, so this is some applications of conduction. Next, let's study about convection. Okay, so next process by which heat transfers is convection. In this process, what happens? Actually, heat doesn't move, rather the particles, the molecules of the matter, it moves carrying the heat. Okay, this is called convection, the transfer of heat by actual motion of matter. That is called convection. For example, recall the second example what we took, that between two boys. Okay, how the ball was being passed. If suppose this is the heat. Okay, so the second example, what I said, in the first example, the heat was passed from one person to another person standing in line. This was given to him, then to him. So no one changed their places, just heat moved from one place to another. But in convection, generally what happens, in convection, okay, one person, he takes the ball, he goes and he gives it here. Okay, and he gives the ball here. So that means in this case, the heat is moving along with the person, along with the particle. This process is called as convection, the transfer of heat by actual motion of particles. Since in this case the particles need to move, it is mostly seen, okay, mostly seen in case of fluids. In case of fluids, okay, fluids. Fluid means what? Either liquid or not solid, or gases. Liquid or gases or air, you can say. It's mostly seen in liquid or gases or in air. So confused a little bit? Okay, I'll help you. Let us know how actually water gets heated. Okay. So what happens if suppose this is a container containing water. Okay, suppose this is a container containing water, and here we are providing the heat. Okay, here the heat is given. So in this case, what happens? The particles of water, since everything is made up of molecules, in this case, what in the water molecules which are present near to the surface of the container, okay, which is quite nearer to the flame. What will happen at first? These molecules they will absorb the heat. They will get heated, and when they will get heated, they will become a little lighter and they will move. Okay, what will happen? These molecules, when they will get heated, they will move upward. So if these particles they move upward, here a gap will be created, right? So there is no more molecules are down. So what will happen? The cooler molecules, okay, the other molecules which are quite cold, right? The cooler molecules they will come down here and they will take its place. Understood? They will come down and they will take place. Then later on, these molecules they will again get heated, they will move up, and some other cooler molecules will come. So similarly, this process will go on unless every molecule gets heated up. The same occurs for air also. That's how air gets heated. Okay, this process of transfer of heat is called convection. Understood? This is how heat transfers in case of a liquid or in gas. That's why you can take it. If you can try in case of a candle flame. Okay, in case of a candle flame, if you keep your hand on top of the flame at a height on top of the flame, you can feel the heat. Okay, but if you keep your hand at the side of the flame, okay, at the side of the flame, not on top of it, rather on side, you can't feel that much of heat because heat means hot air is flowing upward and cold air is coming downwards. So at the side, you can't feel the heat. Okay, this explains the convection, the transfer of heat by convection. Understood? Good. Let's study about radiation. Okay, the third form. Okay, radiation. Radiation. So what? How at first it was explained about radiation. That is the person A, the boy A, he directly kicks the ball to B. So in this case, there is no need of any middleman, okay, or middleman to pass the ball. So in this case, what happens? Heat directly is transferred from one place to another without the help of any medium. So we can say radiation. In case of radiation, it is the transfer of heat, okay, the transfer of heat between any two objects, the transfer of heat between any two objects separated at a distance, okay. Separated at a distance. So the process of transfer of heat between any two objects that are separated at a distance is called as radiation. So radiation, have you ever thought when during summer we feel excess of heat, right? Why? Due to bright sunlight. So due to bright sunlight we feel quite very hot. So that means sunlight contains heat, and that heat we are getting from sun. But in space outside the earth, there is no air, right? There is no medium. It is entirely vacuum. So how does heat moves in this case? In that case, heat is transferred in form of radiation from sun to earth. It comes in the form of radiation. That's how it travels. Okay. So generally, in case of radiation, it does not mean that it occurs only in vacuum. In radiation, it does not need any medium. Without medium, it can take place. So it does not only it takes place outside the earth, but radiation can be seen inside the earth also. Okay. For example, if you take that all hot bodies, okay, radiate heat. Okay. For example, if you take generally during winter, maybe in the evening or at night, if you go out, you generally feel cold, right? You will feel cool during winter. You need some woolen clothes to keep yourself warm. But recall, if there is a festival going on, if an event is being organized, or a crowd is gathered somewhere, if you go to that place, you won't feel cold. Rather, you will feel hot, right? Or suppose in a room alone you are there. Okay, you are all alone, so you won't feel that much hot, or you feel only little bit. But if the full is crowded by 10 or 20 people, or maybe even more, then how much more the people will be, that much more hot the room will become, right? So how does why does this happen? Because our human body also radiates some heat. Okay, due to the temperature difference between human body and the surrounding, our body also radiates some heat. So more amount of heat radiations makes the entire surrounding hotter. Okay, so that's how heat is transferred in form of radiation. You understood? Okay, so the three different forms of transfer of heat: conduction, convection, radiation. In conduction, heat travels from one part to another part of an object. In convection, the particles travels. Okay, not only heat, the particles, rather the molecules, they move. Okay, from one part to another. In radiation, it does not need any medium. Directly, you can transfer from one part to another part, even when they are at a distance. So these are the three different types of transfer of heat. So that's all for now. Have a nice day. Thank you.